Alright, so I got the smoker for free, and they're not bad smokers. This one's a Brinkmann smoking pit. I think it's a little thicker than what they sell now. This one's definitely 1/8 inch thick, but it's pretty much a turd. The biggest problem with these is the size of hole that they put from the firebox to the chamber. There's no restriction whatsoever, so as soon as you dump charcoal inside it, that thing's up to 400 degrees real fast. And it's kind of hard to control because you're constantly just throwing little bits at a time in there, and trying to get the heat up. If it's not too hot, it's too cold, and it's just a real pain in the butt. So I'm going to do a couple modifications to it and see if we can make it a little bit better. And like I said, it was free to me. I want to fix it up and probably give it away on my Facebook page and give somebody a decent smoker. I got some spring handles for it. We'll replace the handles and here and there. I also got some lava lock gasket for the outside of the door, or I'm sorry, for the inside of the door. In the channel here to seal it up. I'm going to put a new rack on the front of it and put a rack on the bottom of it. And we'll stick one of my charcoal baskets inside it. It's kind of tough to do one-handed, but put a charcoal basket in there. I'm going to redesign the damper and give it more control. I mean, this thing is, it's junk. Most of the stuff they send. I'll also do a new exhaust with a new damper on the chimney. So now I got to get it sandblasted, start taking everything apart, and start building it. I'm not sure. I want to put a rack across the bottom, and I'm going to put 4 wheels on it so it's easier to roll. But I'm not sure about the legs, if I'm going to change the legs or not. But we'll try to dress it up and then get it all painted up real nice. And this one's not in bad shape. I've seen a lot where they're really rotted out, the fireboxes especially. So the other thing is I'm going to put the tuning plates in the bottom to restrict that flow, and hopefully make it to where you can load up that charcoal basket, get the fire going, shut it down, and this thing should cook for many hours at 225, 250, 300, whatever you're after. Once you get your temp set, it should cook for a long time. So I understand, not everybody's got welders and the access to this stuff, and I'll show you what you guys can do. Whether you order parts through me or somebody else, there's a lot of things that you can buy that are pre-cut. The charcoal baskets are one of those things that I think have made a huge difference in cook times. And pretty much any smoker that I build, I put a charcoal basket in it. And it just seems like the cook times are much longer, whether you're putting wood or charcoal in it. I like to start with a charcoal base layer and then use, wood on top of that. I think the charcoal holds a steadier heat, but then, I use wood. And a lot of times, once I get my fire going with charcoal, I'll use just wood. But to get that initial fire going, I use charcoal. So. Alright, I got the whole thing sandblasted, everything but the back side of the firebox. I ran out of sand. Got the box tacked back on. I'm going to weld the box to the chamber. Better than bolts.
I knew you were doing this video because you were looking at the camera.
I was looking at it.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, and then I ran and got the water and threw it like that.
You want to be on YouTube?
Yeah.
Say hi to the camera.
I already did.
You're already a superstar.
Yeah. Remember where that guy said, oh, hey, Dare or something, on the last videos where I made a big smoke with you?
Yeah. guys, a quick update. I got some handles put on it. Got the bottom rack all framed out. I gotta weld it and cut the expanded to go for the bottom, and then I gotta cut some plate to mount the casters to. Yeah, it's coming along. I had a couple other things to do, so it took me a little bit, but then I'm gonna tackle this covering up the big hole inside. You're probably about halfway, and then putting my tuning plates across the bottom so that it'll allow this thing, you can control the heat a lot better. I got the plate cut out, I got it clamped in there. I hope you can see that. I'll turn on my cell phone light. Alright, so yeah, I got the plate all cut out, got it tacked in there. I covered about half the hole, and then I got this plate cut. I'm going to cut two more. I'm going to put some angle in there. So these are more tuning plates. You can tune them throughout the bottom of that chamber, so that you should be able to establish a constant temperature from, side to side. You won't have this being a real hot side. You should be able to keep plus or minus 5 degrees or so. It's actually really efficient to do it that way. I did it on the last smoker I built, and it's a little bigger than this, but it turned out extremely well. That thing, it'll cook all night long, and it'll be within 10 degrees, 5 to 10 degrees of each side of itself. So I really like the tuning plate. You got to kind of mess with them and slide them side to side, but other than that, once you find the sweet spot, so to say, then that's pretty good. So I'll get that piece welded in there and see what else we can get done tonight. It's extremely hot out here, and it's really humid, so that's been a real pain in the ass, but I want to get this done so I can give it away. I want to make somebody happy. Alright, little update. I got the plates down in there. I cut, these two are 6 inches, those two are 4.5. And I put a piece of angle across the backside so you can slide them and tune them however you like. I got the bottom rack on there and some wheels, so it's coming right along. Alright, I got the damper. I think it looks pretty good. It was kind of a goofy way to do it, but I think it looks alright. It's a lot better than the original. I gotta weld the nut on there, loosen the nut up a little bit, weld it on there, and so it spins a little more free. But other than that, all I gotta do now is I gotta figure out the chimney. I'm not sure exactly what I'm gonna do. Damper control on the chimney. I gotta come up with something. But other than that, after I do that, I'll pick up some paint tomorrow. I think I'll probably start a fire in it before I paint it, and see how it all works out. I think it's gonna work out pretty good. I still gotta put the lava lock on the doors, and it should be all finished up. I gotta drill another hole for another gauge, but so I want to put 2 gauges on it. So yeah, that's about it. Alright, getting ready to start a fire in it, see how everything does. I put a 2nd gauge on it, and I don't like how high the gauges are, but that's where the one hole was, and so I put them up there. It'll work just fine. I'd like to have one at rack temperature, but it'll work out alright. This is a pretty small chamber, so everything's, I oiled it all up with some cooking oil. It all slides real nice. Picked up some paint. The only real option paint-wise that I had was black, which it'll be black. I just worry about the Firebox being so thin. I didn't want to put a 500-degree paint on it, which you got a lot of color options. That metal's going to get probably hotter than 500 degrees. I don't want it peeling, so it'll be black. I might get some other colors and accent it a little bit, but for now I'm going to start a fire in it and make sure everything's doing like I want it to do, and see what kind of difference the tuning plate's made. So got the charcoal chimney going, using lumped charcoal. I like that Royal Oak. It's pretty good charcoal. It seems like it's a little more expensive at Home Depot, than regular briquettes. I think it's like 12 bucks a bag, but that one bag seems to last a lot longer, and you get a better flavor on your food. When you're smoking, you almost don't even need any wood. I'm gonna throw a chunk of apple in there, but it's already a hardwood, so I do like it better. But got the charcoal basket, that little 12-inch by 12-inch, 5 3/4 deep. That'll hold quite a bit of charcoal. I'm hoping this thing will cook for 5 to 6 hours once I get it up to temp, and get this thing all seasoned, and it should go pretty good. So I'll give you an update. Alright, I had to run and eat some lunch, but this is about a 2-hour update. Now I got the damper fully closed, and there might be just a hair of a gap there. I gotta mess with the tuning plate some. This side's just shy of 275, it's like 260, and this side's just shy of 225. It seems to be going pretty good for 2 hours. I haven't touched the fire at all. Just messing around with the damper and the chimney damper there. Yeah, it seems to be going pretty good, but I could probably open this damper up a little bit to get this side up just a hair. But yeah, it's going well. It's gonna be a matter of, every cooker's different. All of them that I've ever built they always run a little different from each other. It's a matter of figuring it out. So, with all those tuning plates in there, the nice thing is you can slide them, and if you're hot on one side, figure out where that plate needs to go to even that temperature out. So. Alright, so I just got back from fishing. I went and did a little bit of fishing, but roughly 8 hours later after lighting it, actually it's more than 8 hours now. I checked it at 8 hours. It was like 110 degrees. It's still roughly around 90, about 90. So if you guys are planning on doing the same mods, it ran really, really well for about 3.5 hours, almost 4 hours. And that's when it started. I had to open up the damper a little bit and, give it a little bit more air. Around the 3.5, 4 hour mark, I would stoke the fire up again, but it handled extremely well. I mean, I filled the basket, and that was it. Got to my temp. I got a little bit higher. I shut the dampers down. It responded right away. Came back down, and it did pretty good. So I believe that's it. I'm gonna get ready to paint it and get this thing finished up. So. Alright, this thing is finally finished up. I got it all painted. I did the bottom rack silver. I don't know, it looks pretty good, I think. Did the damper silver. And I put the lava lock around the doors. I don't know how long that'll last on a Firebox, but we'll see. This is the first time I've ever used the lava lock stuff. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy with it. I think I'm just going to leave it the flat black. I do like the flat black look. And these things, they need to be repainted once a year anyways. So, but what I'm doing with it is it's going to be, I'm going to give it away on my Facebook. I'm not real sure how I'm going to do it, but you know, I'd be willing to drive like 50 miles radius around me somewhere. But you know, if somebody in Texas wants to get in and try to win it, they're gonna have to figure out how to get it shipped there. Um, yeah. So if you guys are interested in getting in on the you know giveaway and win this, just go check out my Facebook page. I'll leave the link and everything below in the information section. So yeah, that's about it. I'm pretty proud of it. I'm pretty happy with it. It did extremely well yesterday. You know, I could have probably loaded up the Firebox a little more. I barely filled the charcoal basket, and it ran about 4 hours. 3.5, I would start messing with it and try to, you know, you probably get about 3 hours out of it, and you need to stoke your fire up. But to go for 3 hours without me touching anything, that's a lot better than what it was. I mean, this thing was a real turd. So, yeah. So, thanks for watching, guys. If you guys are wanting to do the same mods, just send me a message, leave a comment. I'll try to answer. And you know, if you got any questions on how to do it, whatever. I also sell the charcoal baskets. You can see that on my Facebook page. And you know, if you guys give me measurements, I'll cut the tuning plates, and I can ship anywhere in the U.S. So just get a hold of me. Thanks for watching.